Julius Erving. Who is Julius Erving? Julius Erving was born on February 22, 1950, in Hempstead, Long Island, New York. His dad left the family when Julius was just 3. His mom functioned as a homegrown to help her 3 youngsters. The family lived in a public lodging venture, and life was troublesome. However, Mrs. Erving attempted to impart a healthy identity worth in her kids. And youthful Julius understood his gift for ball could be a path to a superior life. Erving was a very good basketball player by the time he was 10 years old. He was averaging 11 points per game with his Salvation Army team, and he was already starting to develop his signature dunking. Julius Erving was 13, his mom remarried, and the family moved to the close town of Roosevelt. Early career. Julius was good in academics and played in the secondary school group, all province and all Long Island groups contending in statewide competitions. Erving gained the moniker the specialist while still at Roosevelt High. His colleagues would later change this to Dr. J, the B-ball mentor at Roosevelt High. Beam Wilson acquainted youthful Julius with Mentor Jack Leaman of the College of Massachusetts. After secondary school, Erving entered the college, where Beam Wilson was employed as partner mentor the next year. At Massachusetts, Erving broke first-year recruit records for scoring and bouncing back, driving his group through an undefeated season. The following year, he had the subsequent best bounce-back count in the country. Over the mid-year, he joined a NCAA elite player group visiting Western Europe and the Soviet Association. He was casted the ballot most important player on this visit. Julius Erving passed on to college to go proficient after his lesser year. He is one of just 7 players throughout the entire existence of NCAA B-ball to average north of 20 places and 20 bounce back for each game. Julius Erving's rookie season ushers in new era for ABA. In 1971, Julius Erving started his expert vocation with the Virginia Assistants of the American Ball Affiliation, the NBA. The ABA was taking on a difficult conflict to earn a similar respect delighted in by the more settled Public Ball Affiliation, or NBA. Julius Erving, or Dr. J, as fans presently called him, accomplished other things than any other person to win that acknowledgement for the new affiliation. In his most memorable star season, Dr. J positioned 6th in the ABA in scoring, 3rd in bouncing back. He was casted the ballot ABA, the latest phenom at the end of the time. The next year, he drove the ABA in scoring, averaging 31.9 focuses per game. In 1973, Dr. J endeavored to sign with the Atlantic Birds of Prey of the NBA and wound up in the center of a convoluted lawful fight. The assistants asserted he was still under agreement to them. The Milwaukee Bucks guaranteed draft privileges to Erving under NBA rules, and his old administration sued him for harming their standing by attempting to break the assistant's contract. The issue was at long last privately addressed any outstanding issues. Erving stayed with the NBA to play for the New York Nets. Yet again, Erving drove the association in scoring and drove the Nets to an ABA title, winning 4 out of 4 games against the Utah Stars. In the first of these games, Erving scored 47 focuses, igniting examinations with the best players ever. In the 1974 season, Erving experienced a knee torment and had to wear exceptional supports on the court. Yet it didn't prevent him from another breathtaking season. On his 25th birthday celebration, he scored 57 focuses against San Diego. Julius Erving, a life in basketball. Subsequent to being casted the ballot most important player in the ABA from 1974 to 1976, Dr. J moved to the Philadelphia 76ers of the Public Ball Affiliation. He stayed in Philadelphia throughout the previous 11 years of his star ball vocation, driving the 76ers to a NBA title in 1983. At the point when Dr. J at last resigned in 1987, he had scored more than 30,000 focuses in his expert profession. He is one of just 3 players throughout the entire existence of the game to accomplish this accomplishment. Subsequent to resigning from Proficient Ball, Julius Erving turned into an observer for NBC and showed up in the Element film The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. Julius Erving was one of the first competitor financial specialists. His most memorable agreement with Banter merited a then extraordinary $20,000. He additionally supported the primary authorized computer game Dr. J vs. Larry Bird, which was delivered by Electronic Expressions in 1983. Dr. J, the Philadelphia Sixers, took on the Los Angeles Lakers in the 1983 NBA Finals. The Sixers tore through the 1983 end-of-the-season games, winning 8 of their initial 9 season finisher games as they got back to the finals. For the third time in 4 years, the Sixers and the Lakers got down to business for the NBA title. Be that as it may, this gathering missing the mark on show of the past 2. Philadelphia overwhelmed Los Angeles in 4 straights, giving Erving his solitary NBA title ring. After the title season, Erving was in the brilliant long stretches of his vocation. He actually played well, yet depended more on insight than on the crude actual abilities that had been his brand name. In the 1984 Elite Player Games, the sort of presentation in which he may as yet feature his abilities, he came up gigantic and poured in 34 focuses. Erving's legacy secured as one of the NBA's greatest players. As Erving's vocation slowed down, so did the Sixers. After almost 10 years among the association's tip-top, Philadelphia was experiencing significant change, with more youthful players, for example Charles Barkley, showing up on the scene. In the wake of Erving reported that he would resign following the 1986-87 season. The mission transformed into the Julius Erving goodbye visit. He was respected in each NBA field, as fans the nation over showed their adoration and appreciation for quite possibly of the best player the game had at any point seen. Erving resigned at age 37, having scored in excess of 30,000 places in his consolidated ABA and NBA profession. Erving scored 22.0 focuses per game in his 11 NBA seasons with Philadelphia and 28.7 focuses per game in his 5 ABA seasons with Virginia and New York. In 1993, Erving was chosen for the Naismith Remembrance Ball Corridor of Notoriety. Since his retirement, Erving made progress in business and as a ball chief profession. His speculations in corporate responsibility for Coca-Cola packaging plant in Philadelphia, as well as digital TV slots in New York and New Jersey. He additionally functioned as an in-studio examiner for NBC during its inclusion of the NBA. Erving joined the Orlando Sorceries front office staff as VP of RDV Sports and Leader VP of the Enchantment on June 4, 1997, preceding leaving the situation in 2003. As a feature of his underwriting bargain, Erving got the choice to buy 20,000 portions of the organization at $1 an offer. He clutched the offers, which was at last worth great many dollars. Erving was additionally a financial backer in the Philadelphia Coca-Cola packaging organization for over 20 years. In 2016, Erving sold the larger part freedoms to his name and pictured the genuine brands gathering. As a feature of the agreement, ABG has petitioned for the brand name to Dr. J, as well as Erving's unmistakable in the US and all over the planet. Julius Erving currently lives in Atlanta with his subsequent spouse, Doris. He is, obviously, revered in the B-Ball lobby of Acclaim, and in the recollections of each and every individual who at any point saw him play. Julius Erving brought the ABA into attention. The ABA had a lot of good players, yet Erving stood apart as the embodiment of the association. He overwhelmed the game from the little forward spot. Yet more than that, he took the portion of the things Connie Hawkins had done in streaks. For example, diving dunks, and made them a consistently event. He was continuously active new. Imagining, soloing, improvising. He was quick to consolidate expanded hang time with fragile elegance and unadulterated power. Erving was the ABA's top whiz, and his outcome in New York solidified his standing as the most exciting player in one or the other association. Julius Erving, the extraordinary and wondrous Dr. J, was the prevailing player of his time and a trailblazer who fundamentally altered how the game was played. He was a wizard with the ball, performing accomplishments never before like meter twists and spins interspersed by strong sure things. Erving was quite possibly the earliest player who made impromptu individual articulation a basic piece of the game, setting the style of play that would win in the very long time to follow. Legacy. Montage of current NBA players mimicking Julius's famous dunks and moves. Sports investigators talking about his impact on the game's advancement. Julius Erving. Document film, I needed to move the cutting edge to push the limits of what's conceivable. Julius Erving was a transcendent basketball player who helped to revolutionize the game. His high-flying dunks and acrobatic moves were awe-inspiring, and he helped to popularize the dunk and attract new fans to the game. Erving was a true legend of the game, and his impact will be felt for generations to come.